If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With the all-new Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from good to excellent. Introducing the new Sleep Score on Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
Why wait for Black Friday? Blink Friday starts now with up to 65% off Blink Smart Security. Check on your pets all season long with new Blink Mini 2K Plus plug-in cameras. See your gifts arrive in head-to-toe view with Blink Video Doorbell. Ready to use right out of the box. Just unwrap Blink and go. Pet setters to busy families. Blink Friday deals have your holidays covered. Tap the banner to save now.
Sunday morning, a lot to think about. With us today is Congressman Timothy Burchett. And one thing about the congressman, one smart guy, one great American, and he's got the issues that are affecting our lives and our country. Well, Congressman, Sunday morning, there's so many things going on. Let's go for the Epstein thing first. Congress passed it. Senate passed it. The president signed it. Where the heck are we?
I think we're back where we started. Really, the Democrats aren't even going to bring it up now because I think it's going to implicate Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and a bunch of ranking Democrats. You got a former Harvard president. You got a couple other people that are huge Democrat contributors. I think they've bit off more than they can chew. We used to say in the old country saying about the dog chasing the school bus, well, dadgummit, they caught that school bus. Now what's he going to do with it?
So you think it's, even though everybody signed off on it and everybody, it's a done deal, you think that it's going to be held back?
Yeah, I still think there's some problems with it that are going on. I was hoping they would redact the names of some of the girls who were abused. You know, when I was in a closed-door meeting with them, it was bipartisan, Democrats and Republicans, and they were talking about it. This one girl said that her name was redacted in all the files because she'd asked for it to be, but she wanted to see the files so that she had blacked out. You know, God gives you a defense mechanism sometimes if you encounter something really horrific that your mind just blacks it out. And she just wanted to see what they'd done to her. And so I asked the question, I said, so you want the files released? And she said, no, I didn't. And her attorney even stepped in and said, no, we don't. And so there's a lot of confusion out there, sir. And I'm afraid there's going to be some innocent ladies who are going to end up walking out at Thanksgiving with their family, and they're going to have a bunch of TV cameras shoved in their face, and they're going to have to relive this whole thing. And, Chairman Comer had the right idea. He'd released over 50,000 pages of files, and he'd gone through it and redacted all the names of some of the ladies and innocent people that had just flown on the plane. Because this guy was, you're a prominent businessman. You're around people all the time. They want to drop your name. And that's exactly what this guy did. He dropped Trump's name. And, the thing about Trump banned him from Mar-a-Lago over 17 years ago because he was messing with some of the young ladies that were staff there. And he said, "You're out, dude." And he banned him from it.
He was probably trying to get them to make more money, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely, 100%. And then now we know Epstein was texting members of Congress, giving them questions to ask of people that were going after President Trump. And so, the whole thing just stinks for the Democrats, yet they're riding around on their white horse right now, but they're complicit and guilty. Where the hell were they the last 4 years? I'll tell you where they were, hiding. President Trump tried to get the files out 3 different times, and 3 different times federal judges, all Democrat appointees, blocked every single attempt he had. My own Senator Marsha Blackburn she tried to subpoena the flight logs, and Dick Durbin acted like he didn't know who Epstein was, and now they're all leading the charge on it. So they are complicit in this thing, and like I say, this town is crooked as a dog's leg.
Washington is for sale. It sounds like Washington is broken very badly, I mean, is the United States going to survive? This is what I'm worried about. This is what I was worried about when Biden was president. This is what I was worried about when we were being invaded. Immigration, yes, I said. Invasion, no. But somebody has to go to jail in Washington. Otherwise, they're just going to go on normal course of business.
Absolutely. And that's the trouble with this town, John. You see it all the time. We raise hell about something, and then, I always say Americans want their pizzas in 30 minutes or less, and that's about our dadgum attention span. We're going to move on to some bright, shiny object, and this will never, ever occur. Nothing will ever happen unless we do it right now. Somebody needs to be arrested. Somebody needs to be put in chains, But I think it's going to be some people pretty close to some people up here. So you're going to see a lot of shuffling.
Understood. Now, the other thing that money flows around Washington was these insider transactions with a lot of Congress people that are making zillions of dollars on insider information, and it just keeps going. And I guess you can't. The Congress people, they can't police themselves.
No, heck no. It's the hen garden. It's the fox guarding the hen house. Honestly, you've got congressmen making 600-700 transactions a year. I mean, give me a break. And they claim they're not using insider information. We're in meetings. We talk to people. You don't even have to be in the meeting. You can talk to a lobbyist or somebody or a lawyer representing one of these groups, and they tell you about an investment they're getting ready to make or an industry they're getting ready to move into. It's too easy. I have a $12,000 portfolio. My buddy Tommy Seiler was my stockbroker. It was a mutual funds. That's whatever, and I've cashed it out now because I'd pay for a year of my daughter's school. But that's what we're up against, John. We're not, and it's both sides. That's why you see a bipartisan. There's not too many times you see Tim Burchett and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez agree on anything. But dadgummit, this is one of those. I mean, everybody raises Cain about Pelosi, and they should. But she's like number 11 on the list. There's a website called Unusual Whales, and they list the top 100. I'm not in it, of course, much to my wife's disappointment that I don't make those stock trades.
What is the website?
Unusual Whales. Like the mammal in the sea, WHALES, Unusual Whales. You can Google it or get on Twitter or X.
Gotcha. I will do that, just for curiosity.
And they'll list the 100, and it's pretty evenly split between Republicans and Democrats. And I told them yesterday at the press conference, we're going to get up here in righteous indignation, and we're not going to pass anything. Or if we do pass it, the Senate it'll fall into a great abyss over there. They will never bring it up, or they'll pass something a lot stronger or something that we won't agree to, and then both sides will go home and say, "Oh, well, we tried," and they'll move on to another bright, shiny object. And that's the game up here. But President Trump supports it. The Department of the Treasury supports it. Everybody supports it, except for members of Congress that are getting rich off of it.
Understood. And one more thing, one more subject on a Sunday morning. The birth rate in the United States, the birth rate all over the world. I mean, the one that surprised me last week was the Italians. The Italians are considered the most virile men in the world, or at least they say they are. but the birth rate in Italy is down to 1.1. Now, is there something going on that we don't know about? Do you tell us?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I have legislation. I didn't go to the secret briefing because if I did, I couldn't talk about it. Actually, I read about it after I knew it was going on, but I read it in the press, so it's out there. The Chinese are developing a genome, which is they study our genetic information, to where they can infect childbearing age American women with something to stop them from having children. Now, how are they getting our genome? They're buying it from American companies. These I won't do them. Those Ancestry.coms where they always find out you're related to the King of England. Nobody's ever a horse thief. I think all my people were horse thieves. But they get this stuff and they develop all this genetic information and they sell it to the Chinese. Well, I've been trying for over a year to stop that. I can't even get the bill in committee because the K Street lobbyists, somebody's getting fat selling this stuff, and they're in bed with the communist Chinese. It's got to stop, John. It has got to stop. Stalin or Lenin allegedly, one of them said, we're going to sell them the rope they hang themselves with. Well, this is that rope, and we are going to hang ourselves with this if we're not careful.
And so what are they doing? What are the Chinese doing? In other words, why is the birth rate down? Is somebody in the world that thinks that 8 billion people are too many people doing something to the food we eat or whatever?
Yes, sir. Well, they develop a genome, and a genome is just a history of your genetic material. And then they can develop, it's like COVID, actually. They developed a disease, COVID, that was, I think, was the problem we were told about some people in the intelligence community was that the problem the Chinese had was that people were just living too long over there. And this was, this is the same people that toyed with the idea up to the 70s of dropping a nuclear bomb on their own people just to see the effects. They have no value of human life like we do in America, which we used to, I guess. But they are developing a genome, genetic history, and traits so they can develop diseases to stop people from having babies. So what's happening in Italy, you better start paying attention to what's going on. That could be happening around the world. And that, I know that sounds kind of tinfoil hat James Bond stuff, but they're despicable people, and they want to control the world, and they'll do anything they can to get there.
Congressman Tim Burchett from the great state of Tennessee, I will say something to you. You are the most common sense and honest and patriotic congressman I know. Thank you so much for coming on this Sunday morning, and thank you for your wisdom. And we'll work together to try to save America. Thank you so much.
God bless you, sir. Thank you for what you do for this great country, and I dig the fact that you're a capitalist because you love God, you love your family, and you love capitalism in this country, and those are 4 pretty cool things. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here, wishing you a very happy half-off holiday because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. Mint is still premium, unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day, yeah?
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.